Well, after our winter break, we are back for All Four Bag episode 52, the preview of season 20. I'm, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined always by Hadlington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dan.
I promise that I will never, ever let anything bad happen to you because
we have Super Dip TV in the background.
it's my job to keep.
What's he watching? Coronation Street?
I don't know.
You get
And it's good evening to Shaz. Good evening, sir.
Oh,
gonna watch them.
if you can hear me a bit, good evening, everyone.
We're fine. I'm a car mechanic.
I've just muted Super Dip.
That's
That's a good start to the show. Of course,
Really,
everyone.
there we
We should all know that we should all have our microphones switched off and on mute and all that, apart from the hosts, as you would imagine. So, bumper show tonight, chaps. We're looking ahead to season 20. Well, what can we say? On tonight's program, we have the BGP and SCS Challenge final reviews. We have the all-important team lineups and track reveals here tonight. Then, of course, we have the track draws for the season 20 BGP and SCS. And then we have the draws for that first round. And then we have our committee feedback and a look ahead to next week's show. So a lot more in-depth stuff we're doing this season. And I'm sure you'll join us from start to finish. And but without being said, let's the games begin. And a new season, yes, gentlemen, of course. So we had, first of all, Season 20 BGP and SCS Challenge from the magnificent Maketa Stadium in Prague. And this one, well, looking at that score chart there, it was all about Sizzler. 15-point maximum, top score, and a track record on top. Had your thoughts on Sizz there? He was unstoppable all night.
Yeah, I'm obviously part of Sizzler's team for this season, and obviously done a lot of laps before the meeting, so wasn't surprised to see him go through the card, to be honest, and getting the track record as well in the race that I was in, actually, heat 9, finishing 5 points above everybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't surprised at all, to be honest. His gating definitely helped as well, because it was, if you miss a gate, you had to try, and it was not the best track to find passes. So yeah, hats off to Sis for that, just running through the card. Hopefully stands us in good stead for the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. And of course, Shads, you were in this meeting as well, my good sir. You finished on 9 points. You had to win a runoff to get through, but happy with your 9-point score?
Yeah, there was. I suspect there was a little bit of not wanting to qualify for the GP going on, but I think I think I had a little word with Scotty afterwards saying you weren't really trying in that one, were you? And he said, "Oh, I had gate 1." But the way I actually outgated him, which is very unusual. And I didn't really have any pressure in that one, so I suspect Scotty wanted me out of the way of the SCS because he thinks I'm maybe a threat. But,
Wow.
No. There was a couple of shocks. I think great to see Hobnob qualify for the GP. I think no one called that one before the meeting. I think who else was it? The Solskjaer was well spoken about before. A lot of people had in their top 4 to qualify. Obviously, Sizzler track suited him great because it was with his gating. I've never seen anyone gate like him before. And on that track, I think only one race he didn't gate. I think Scotty said that because obviously Tank hasn't put the recordings up yet, so we haven't seen the recordings. I think there's only one race he had to pass someone, and that was Scotty, I think, in their race. Yeah, it's a very tough track to pass on. I managed to pass. Who did I pass? I passed someone in the race to get my extra point to get into the. Oh, it's Skyrider. That's right. And I messed up his qualification. Yeah, it was an interesting track. I don't think I'd want to ride it again very soon, to be honest with you.
I'll be honest, Shads, that race we had in 8:15 That was the best. That was probably the best gate I've seen you do.
Yeah, yeah, I had a nice little jump there, didn't I?
Yeah.
But the outside gates did seem to be a little bit more favourable.
Yeah, I am just looking at the
even break.
I'm just looking at the program, and there's only, it looked like Gate 1 was a bit of a graveyard at that track because only 2 races were won from Gate 1 that night. So I think it was Sis in
Yeah.
his second ride, and then JC won it from his last ride. So that track was definitely a leveler. But of course, going into the BGP for this season, is of course going to be Sizzler, Hobnob, the Saucier, and Shads. Of course, you qualify for the BGP with your runoff win over Scotty B.
Mhm.
The SCS qualifiers are going to be Scotty B, Rico, Jan, back in his return season, David No Fear, yourself Hadlington, JC, Capesy, Skyrider, and Wayne all go into the SCS for season 20.
That's a
And then
quality lineup, by the way.
And then already qualified from the SCS from last season, Ben Thompson, Big Slow Caney, B Witcher, Cam, Westy Boy, and Lango. So those are the qualifiers. And I'm telling you what, I've seen the lineup for the SCS, and that's going to be a tough one to call. I do
Quality.
agree. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think if I was to pick a winner out of that, I mean, I was saying to myself earlier that I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps his form from last season. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam would be with a shot at winning the title this year. I would say Cam and Scotty B a very, very close second. It's between those two, I think, because they seem to be the ones that were sort of up top, like in the league and the BGPs and all, like when they were in there. So I think those two, they could be potential spoilers. I reckon.
Do you
Then,
think,
of course,
there'd be a bit of an issue with Rico and Cam using the same laptop?
that is a point. I'm surprised they haven't put like a GoFundMe account to get a new laptop for them both.
If they both get into a semi-final, and they're in the same semi-final, what happens?
Well,
Who drops out?
we'll have to get Cam on at some stage, or Rico for an interview, and then ask him like what's stopping him from getting a second laptop.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But overall, great to see all the different names in that meeting. We have another. I think Lango's now muted. Oh dearie me. And talking to Cam, he just joins in the chat now. There we go. I was just bigging you up there, Cam. There we go. So with the SCS and BGP qualifiers all set, it is now time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The track selections for season 20. Those are the lineups. We have the Cowboys, the Dragons, Panthers, Scorchers making a return into the league, Spartans, and the Wolves. Of course, you were all here for team building a couple of weeks ago, and that was by far that was absolutely amazing seeing all the names pop up here. And Wolf, Haz, I'm going to start with you first, mate. Wolves this season, but as a neutral, what team stands up for you?
To be honest, I think I've been looking at the predictions on the what Skyrider set up, and to be honest, a few people have said the same. It's hard to. I think it's hard to separate most teams. To be honest, when the teams originally came out, the one that stood out for me was Scorchers.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think a lot of teams have a very good top three. Some have a lot of, the bottom two riders are a little bit better than the other teams, but then that other team will have a bit stronger middle order. So I think it's, especially with a 7v7 format, it's going to make things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, we will get into the committee feedback about the format near the end of the show. Shads, your thoughts? Of course, you're back at the Panthers again for season 20. You signed for them mid-season. As a neutral perspective, what's your thoughts on the on season 20? Who stands out for you as
Well,
a potential
everyone
spoiler?
apart from Tank has us finishing bottom or second bottom. I don't really get the hate for the Cowboys, because most people have got Cowboys finishing bottom. I can't see it. I can't see them finishing bottom. But then again, I can't separate most of the teams there. I mean, the first thought was, well, Dragons look strong because obviously they got Stefan, but the Scorchers look very good. I mean, they're great. They're great all the way down. I think the top three is going to be between the Dragons, the Scorchers, and the Wolves.
Oh,
I just depending on the tracks as well.
yeah.
I can't separate any of those. I mean, last year there was two standout teams, wasn't there? There was the Spartans and the Cowboys. They were most people's favourites to finish first or second. But this year there's three. I mean, even you can't even discount the Spartans. I don't think we'll be challenging for the top three, but hopefully we'll be somewhere in the mix there.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at the captains and vice captains, because we do have a few vice captains in here as well this evening for us. So I'm sure the vice captains will be made aware of the tracks that they have been given, so then they can maybe say it for us tonight. But first of all, we will start with the defending champions, the Cowboys. Of course, they rode last year at Poole, so we can confirm that the Cowboys' home track for season 20 is Poole again.
Oh.
So the Poole Cowboys remain in season
Boring.
20.
Wow.
What a surprise! And the crowd goes mild.
Didn't expect
Oh,
that.
wow! Defending champions going in as the Poole Cowboys yet again. Wow, they were unbeaten at home, I believe, last season, so it made no surprise that they've picked Wimborne Road as their fortress for this coming season. So, without any further ado, we're going to get the second draw, and with that, we're going to bring in the Dragons captain, Squall. Are you there, sir?
I'm here.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
Not so bad. How are you?
Good. Good. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So we've just seen the Poole Cowboys be retained for next season. I think the big talking point is, where are you taking the Dragons for season 20?
Season 20, the Dragons are going to a track that 2 days ago I said I was not doing a season on. And we're going to Oxford.
Oxford Dragons. The Oxford name comes back into the fold.
Didn't see that.
Wow.
coming.
Yes.
No. Wow. I think well, last time I had the Oxford, I think it was like the Sharks were there last time I checked them. Last time they were
I
there.
think it was the Brewers went there in their first season, didn't they?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. Good chat.
Wow.
That is.
With
So I get-
Zagar's first
Yeah.
season.
So I'm guessing, Squall, that Oxford wasn't your first choice. What was your first choice going to be?
The team's first choice was Oxford.
Ah, right. Okay.
And after a couple of nights on it, I've learned to love it.
Ah, brilliant. Well, the Oxford Dragons are in for season 20. Thank you so much for joining us, Squall. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you.
Another advantage of that is the recordings won't work now because of the new bikes. I think the bikes have changed since
Yeah.
so you can't actually, unless someone knows a way to get around it.
Hmm. Okay, so next up on the list, it will be the Panthers. Unfortunately, their captain Capesy is not here tonight, but their vice captain Scotty B is. Scott, if you are available, my good sir, if you are there.
Hello, boys. You all right?
Scotty, good evening, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Brilliant. Now, of course, big talking point. Of course, the track selection for the Panthers this season. So, can you reveal the Panthers' home track for season 20, please?
We're off to a lovely place called Shorefield.
Shorefield, the old
I
Glasgow
think
track.
isn't
Wow.
that Smiler's favourite track?
I think it might be.
I think
Wow,
he's mentioned it.
didn't see
Yeah.
that one come in.
Yeah, we
Ah.
love it too. So we'll see you all there. Look
So
forward
was
to
was that your first choice then, Scotty? Was it?
it. As a team, we chose Shorefield. There was lots of different tracks that we had a look at, but Shorefield came out on top from everyone's input.
Oh, brilliant! Well, thanks for popping in, Scotty, and good luck at the Shorefield Stadium.
Cheers. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. So we now move on to the Scorchers. Unfortunately, Limo is not here this evening, but I believe his vice captain Jan is. So Jan, if you're available, my good sir, if he's there, if he wants to maybe pop in, he might not be available. He can't use his mic. Apologies there, Jan. So we're going to have the Scorchers reveal. They are going to Edinburgh.
Oh no.
So Edinburgh Scorchers.
Powder Hall.
Powder Hall.
Edinburgh's a different track.
Edinburgh Powder. Yeah, Powder
Lovely
Hall.
track.
Wow. So a few different ones for this season. So yeah, great work from the.
Isn't that your old track, Heads?
Yeah, first track we chose for
KR Cup winning track.
Yeah.
Yeah, still remember JC
believe
put me in the fence.
I believe it got changed though. I think the boost got removed.
Yeah.
If I'm right.
It's one of those
So-
tracks you've got to ride right against the
And
fence,
the boost
isn't
is
it?
still there.
Well, apparently the boost is still there. Well, someone said don't think so. Anyway. So we have two more tracks to select, and we move now to the Spartans. Now, DL Shaw is not here with us tonight, but his vice captain, Racer Ryan, is. So, Racer Ryan, if you're around, my good sir. If he is, hopefully.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, Ryan. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks for popping in for this track reveal. Of course, a lot of tracks have been selected. We've got the two more tracks to go. So, can you reveal on DL Shaw's behalf where you're taking the Spartans for season 20?
We'll be going to Somerset.
Somerset Spartans. What? That's a great one.
Lovely.
Your former home track, I believe, Ryan, was it?
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favourites, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. And I guess that was the was that everyone's choice of that one? Or was there like ones you thought maybe you could go to, or was it straight away?
There was probably about 5 tracks in contention, but the team decided on that one really. So, yeah.
Wow. So the Oak Tree Arena makes a return to season 20 for this year. Thanks a lot, Ryan, for coming in, mate.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. All right, cheers, lads. Bye.
Cheers. So that leaves us with one more track, and it is the Wolves. And with that, we want to hand over to their captain, Mr. Sizzler. Are you there?
Oh, gentlemen.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
It's Friday, 8. We've got to be all right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
definitely. It's good. So, Sis, we've had Poole, Oxford, Shorefield, Powder Hall, and Somerset. Where are you taking the Wolves for season 20?
We're going to, in real life, it's a shithole, Newcastle.
Newcastle Wolves. Okay. Wow. So there we have it. And I believe that's Powis's former last season stomping ground. With the Pime and yourself, Haddington, as well. So, wow, that's one expected track, and then 5 we didn't expect. Had your thoughts on those track selections?
I think it's good to see Powder Hall, especially back into the. I think was it only us who used it at Dynamite before. I think Shorefield's one I'm not too familiar with. Somerset, obviously, is a nice racetrack, I think.
Yeah.
Oxford is a bit, you either like it or you don't kind of thing. But I didn't expect Paul to Cowboys to go Paul, to be honest. I thought they'd move away because I didn't see that was much of an advantage last season.
They've got four riders from last season though, but no the track.
Obviously, and as for obviously the Wolves, Newcastle, I'll let the other lads say more about that than probably me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good. It's a good mix of tracks, to be fair.
Yeah. Absolutely. Shads, your thoughts on the track selections?
I would have thought the Wolves would have gone for Hyde Road with Sizzler, who loves the track, Powis and Ads in the side. I thought Hyde Road would have suited them perfectly, but Newcastle is a tricky track, not so much of a race track as a technical track. So really, I'm not surprised with the quality they've got in the top end of the side, well, all the way down really. I'm not surprised they went for a more technical track. I think it probably helped them with their home form.
Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed to see the Cowboys stay at Paul. I thought they might have changed, but like I said, with four Cowboys from last season in the side, it probably made a bit more sense to have a track there. Four of the team know, half the team know. Surprised to see Oxford back. See that coming.
Yeah.
There's a couple of tricky ones. I mean, Powder Hall's got that really sticky fence on the straight that you have to hug to get a boost, and it catches a lot of people out. Somerset, I think a lot of people will be pleased. Somerset, I mean, it's a track that a lot of people like racing on. It's a I think it's a lovely racetrack up there with Hyde Road for racing as well. Yeah, it's nice to see a couple of new tracks like Shawfield and Oxford that haven't been around for a long time. I mean, I don't think Shawfield's been used since season 6, so that's going to test a few people early on.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that difficult to ride, but people haven't ridden it for a while, so maybe we'll see how we go anyway.
We will indeed. So that was the track picks for season 20 in the British League. Speaking of track picks, we're now going to switch gears and head over to the BGP and SCS track draws now, before we have our break. So, of course, that's going through. So these are the tracks you're going to be racing at in the BGP and the SCS across the course of the year. So without any further ado, let's start up the draw. Hopefully Tank has it all set up. So there we go. So there's the categories. So your first track will be in Scandinavia. So the Scandinavian Grand Prix will be round 1. And then, of course, tracks within tracks will be voted for. Then your second round will take you to Germany and Austria. So that's going to be the second round. Quite a few tracks in the German-Austria selection there.
Sorry about the way you had to play out. But given your closeness,
The third round goes to just a Grand Prix track. So Grand Prix track is your third round.
Miami law enforcement.
Round 4.
Witnesses turn up dead, informants disappear, events appear random.
We head across to Poland for round 4.
An emergency. Who is them? What drives FBI heading up the JTF on this show?
So 3 rounds to go.
Someone was providing.
Round 5 will see the riders take to a British track. Of course, now the British League's been selected, we can now put in the draws so there's no, favoritism on tracks. Penultimate round of the season will take you to the MISC International category. And then the final round will be in the good old US of A.
Boo.
Of course, famous having that for that famous Victorville track that we all love.
Last season as well. The last round was in the USA last season, wasn't
Yep.
it?
It was indeed Victorville. So, with that being said, we're going to now switch on to the track picks from that category. So, there's a lot of tracks in this one here. So, for the Scandinavian Grand Prix and SCS, you'll be heading to Esbjerg. So, Esbjerg gets the Swedish round.
Is it not Danish?
Danish, yes, Danish. My correction. So there is Esbjerg's track.
Not one I'm familiar with, to be honest.
No, me neither.
So round 2. This is for the German and Austrian.
Oh, some
track.
names in here.
Yeah.
I think I've got the track record at the first one, the unofficial one.
No. Oh,
dear.
yeah, Ludwig Lust.
Wow.
Never heard that track before. So we can see that. Oh, no, that's the old Landshut track. So, quite long and narrow straights, big wide corners. So
Those floodlights shadows are putting me off already.
should be fun. Should be fun. That. So for the Grand Prix,
please be Peeler. Please be Peeler. Is Peeler on there?
It's on there. Not for the Grand Prix. It's not.
Voyens. No.
It is gonna be Bydgoszcz, the Polish Grand Prix Bydgoszcz track. Shame it couldn't be in Cardiff, but hey ho. There's the
It can still be in the British one though, can't it?
the Bydgoszcz track, made famous by Thomas Golb for many, many years. Interesting third and fourth corner there. Looks a bit
Looks a bit square, doesn't it?
yeah, a bit wonky there, doesn't it? Yeah.
Newport's like that, isn't it? It's a bit wonky.
A little bit, yeah. So that's going to be for the GP round. Now for the Polish track. So Poland back-to-back rounds. Will it be the same? Will it be Bydgoszcz again?
Peeler. No.
And you'll go almost Bydgoszcz again. You're going to Chorzów. Chorzów is going to be the round for the Polish leg of the BGP and SCS. Of course, I think that the dates have been finalized. I do believe on a forum post. I do believe. So obviously the dates will be available to everybody to look at.
I think there was a meeting there not long ago on this track.
I believe. What, IRL or?
No, they did the one that's just been drawn. I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
Chorzów.
I'll let you do that.
So Chorzów get the.
Why did I just read that as Sizzler in chat?
Now here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
the
wow.
British round. And you guys are going to Norwich.
Wow.
Almost went to Oxford there, which would have made Score rather happy because that would be his home track. But no, Norwich is going to be the track.
Dragon's old track, isn't it? Dragon's
well,
old track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norwich Dragons. So Mackinnon saying calling a Score win that one.
Is it too late to drop out the GP?
Score saying prefer Norwich to Oxford. So yeah, Score's going to be very happy with the Norwich selection there. So we're now on to the Misked International. Quite a few tracks there. And you'll be heading to Baja Blanca in Argentina.
What?
That's the Argentine Grand Prix.
What's that one? I don't know that one.
Yeah,
That's
Baja
the one with the big
Blanca.
open fence. It's the one with the
There
big
it is.
open
Oh,
fence, isn't it?
oh, here we go.
That's the one that Tony Sfab nearly lost his life in when he raced there.
Oh, blimey.
He had a crash and was put in a coma.
Yeah, bring the tone down, Dan, won't you?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So that is Baja Blanca. And last but by no means least, we head to everyone's favourite, the US of A. Only 4. Last year was Victorville. What's it going to be this year?
I don't think they should be.
But, is there anything smaller than
These are shocking.
Victorville? Oh no! Oh no!
And it's going to be the Pirate Speedway, International Motor Speedway, Pirate Speedway.
Is that a real track?
I believe so. I think it's indoors. Oh my days!
Oh, dear.
Oh, the bends so wide.
Wow.
All
What
that
is
space and probably going to be a white liner again.
Probably, yeah.
Paolo Mintz had a VVAP.
Yeah, someone
Class.
sat on it.
Yeah.
Let's get out of
Class.
So that is the track selections for the SCS and BGP. Hads, I'm gonna get your thoughts first. Your thoughts on the track selections.
There's not too many I'm familiar with, to be honest. Obviously, Norwich. I've heard of Norwich a little bit. The first couple, not really. I haven't got a clue. Big Gosh, I've rid on, I think, before, and obviously the other Polish one I've rid on before. I don't think there's one on there not so long ago. But as for the others, I mean, especially the last one, no idea.
Shad, your thoughts on that, mate?
Oh, same as Hads, to be honest with you. Norwich, I
Ugh.
sort of remember from about
Dear
four
me.
seasons ago. But the others, I've not even seen in fun service, to be honest. Maybe
No.
Big Gosh, but you only get to ride it once in the fun service, so it's hard to tell what a track's like until you've actually practiced on it properly. But it's nice to see different tracks anyway.
Yeah.
Apart from the same old ones that seem to get all the time seem to come up. But yeah, we'll give it a go. Got nothing to lose, have we?
No, not at all. Not at all. So, with that being said, we're gonna have a quick interval, and when we come back, we're gonna take a look into the round 1 draw for the first round of the BGP and SCS. So stick around. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And welcome back to Awful Back, episode 52, preview of season 20 with myself, Hads and Shads. We're now going to move on to the draws for the BGP and SCS rounds. Of course, we just found out that the first round takes place at Esbjerg in Denmark for the first round. So without any further ado, the BGP draws looks like this, and hopefully you'll see all the big names on there as always. And starting things off, riding at number 1, it
Go on,
will
Shads.
be number 25, Shads. So Shads first in
Always in Heat 1.
at the box. So, you know, good one for you there, Shads.
Thank you.
Joining you in heat number 1, riding at number 2, will be the current SCS champion, number 900 Mackinnon. So he goes in for his debut season in the BGP. Goes at number 2. Joining at number 3, it will be number 33, Le Sorcier. So Le Sorcier goes in number 3. So an interesting heat 1 here, Shads.
It's got to be Hobnob now, isn't it?
So running at number 4.
Like a
completing
repeat of the SDS last season.
Yeah,
it
that's what I
will
was
be
thinking.
number 608, Bobby. So Bobby goes in at number 4 for the opening round. Still some very big names in this one. At number 5, it will be the current reigning and defending BGP champion more than once. Number 4 is Stefan. He'll be joined in Heat 2 by number 28, Wolfie. He goes in at number 6. Of course, Wolfie comes up from the SCS as finishing second place in the SCS last season. Joining them at number 7, it will be number 104. That'll be Sizzler. So straight out the box, you've got a good matchup between Wolfie and Sizzler there. And joining them at number 8 in Heat 2.
It's got to be Paris now, isn't it?
It will be number 902, Dret Lotka. Of course, Dret Lotka was rather the entertainer last season when he rode. He was getting some big scores everywhere he went. So on to number 9. And that will be number 11. Again, qualified from the SCS, Cappy. Makes the step up to the BGP this year. He'll be joined at in number 10 by number 13, Powis 84, the Sliders world champion in season 19. Goes in at number 12. No, number 10. Sorry, number 10. Number 11 is going to be Hobnob.
Go on, the Bazaar.
Number 7, Hobnob. So, number 12, it will be still some big names in this draw so far. And that will be 101. Stephen 101 goes in at number 12. Oh, what a heat 4 this is going to be. Fakey, Racer Ryan, Squall and Craig. Oh, my God. That's a belt in heat 4. That's a belt in heat 4 already. So 13 is going to be Craig, number 911. Thank you, Wolfie. Number 4. Can't even speak now. Number 14 is going to be 901.
Anyone got a Kleenex?
He said he's going to be retiring, but he's back in the BGP this year. So, Fakey, well done. Welcome back to season 20. Number 15 will be Racer Ryan. Came so close to winning the title. Season 18, 19 was it? One of the two. He's been quite close.
Most years, I think.
I think so,
Both
yeah,
years.
he became quite close. And finally, completing the lineup will be the Dragons captain of the Oxford Dragons is Squall. So, gentlemen, I'll come to you first, Hads. Your thoughts on this BGP, because already out the back, Heat 4 is an absolute cracker.
I think it's going to be pretty much as you were last season. I mean, I've just looking a quick look through the heats, as you said. I've just noticed Heat 12 as well. It stands out to me.
Heat 12, Craig, Bobby, Powersons. Oh.
I mean, there's not easy races, obviously. Last season, speaking from experience, now how hard this is going to be. So, all I'll say to the guys who have come up, enjoy it and good luck, because it's tough, very, very tough.
Crazy. And of course, Shad, you were first out the hat to be put in for the draw. So looking at your draw, mate, what's your thoughts? Start on gate 1, end on gate 1. So
You want to hear my thoughts? You
I
don't
want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your
You
thoughts.
don't want to hear my thoughts. I'm dreading it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm dreading it. I'm looking forward to having something to do on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because Sunday night TV's crap.
I think we all agree with that. That it's quite
Well, I don't mean
shocking.
as it stands. I looked at the dates and I don't miss any rounds. So hopefully I can make double figures in total this time. I think I got 11 in one round last I was in the GP. So I'll take 5 rounds of 11 points each, and I'll be happy.
Well, he's already predicted himself there as Shads. So good job, mate. So I'm looking at the draws here and seeing, I'll say that Heat 4 looks quite tasty. Shad, you have a tasty Heat 5 there, mate. Craig, Steph, and Cappy. And you're on gate 2.
Right. Can't see where I'm going to get my first point, to be honest. I'm looking down at the list. Heat 1 off the inside gate, probably not there. Heat 5, I don't think I'll get anything there. Heat 9, maybe get a point there. Yeah, I think I'm going to get a point overall.
Well, I'm sure that you will, Shads. I'm sure you will, mate.
Beginning to sound like me, Shads.
We haven't even started yet, have we?
Where's your enthusiasm? So, with that being said, we've now got the SCS draw taking place on the same night as the BGP. Schools they're saying plot twist, Shads makes the final. So Shads, School has all faith in you, my good sir.
I made a semi-final once.
Oh, didn't you win? Didn't you win a
No, that was the SDS. No, I made a GP semi-final once.
Yeah.
Once.
Well, there's a chance for progression there.
That's one more than Hadlington made, isn't it?
Actually, I have made a semi-final. Actually.
Oh, have you? I apologise.
The only reason I remember it is because I put Stefan in the grass.
Oh, you're a superstar.
And he didn't make the final.
double points for that.
Yeah, double points for Hads there, mate. Yeah.
That's the only way I remember.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
So, with that being
we can't
said,
watch the recording then.
No, long time ago. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the SCS draw. Wildcard for this one is Super Dip, as you see on the screen there. So, let's get the SCS draw underway. And first up, it will be number 15, Westy Boy, goes in at number 1. He will be joined in Heat 1, riding at number 2, it will be just Super Dip, the wild card. So Super Dip goes in at number 2. It was almost Wayne there, but the draw put it in Super Dip's favour there. Number 3, it will be number 37, Rico. He goes in at number 3. Joined at in Heat 1 at number 4. It will be number 45, Hadlington 83. So Hadlington, you got the first round again, mate, or first heat of the outside in yellow.
I've actually been teammates with every single one of them as well.
Wow. Next, number 5, it will be number 707, Scotty B. So Scotty B goes in at number 5, joined in Heat 2 at number 6. Will be Malta's number 1, number 21, Wayne. So, number 7. Will be number 512, returning to the game this year, Jan. So at number 8, it will be number 8, Bewitcher.
How about that?
Yeah. So Bewitcher goes in at number 8. At number 9 will be Lango. Lango goes in at number 9. Going in at number 10 will be number 16, Sky Rider. So Sky Rider goes in at number 10. Moving on to number 11, and that one sees the Panthers captain, 888, Capesy, goes in at number 11. Looking on to number 12 now. This will complete Heat 3 in the first round. Will be number 69, JC. So JC goes in at number 12. So 4 more to go. Number 13 will be the rapid referee himself, Mr. Ben Thompson, who we will grab in a few moments' time about the committee feedback about the turn 1 that we're all having this season. Number 14 will be number 18, Big Slocany. So Big Slocany goes in at number 14. Which leaves 2 more to go. Number 15 will be David No Fear. Back again this season. Which then puts in at number 16. Was on such good form last year. Still the only rider to have a 21-point maximum in the league is going to be Cam. So well done to the draws there. Shad's I'm going to bring you in first, mate, if I can, as a neutral in this one. Your thoughts on the SCS draw? Because as you said before, this is a very, very strong SCS lineup. Anyone could win this, couldn't they?
Yeah, this is so tough to call. I think a lot of it's gonna go down to availability as well. You miss a meeting, and you're already on the back foot. I think there's a few people here I can I can say will probably ride every meeting, and that already puts them in an advantage. You really can't, if you really want to. I mean, it depends what your priorities are. If you want to just qualify for the next season, you can afford to miss maybe 1 or 2 meetings. I think Biwicha missed a few and he's still qualified. But if you want to win it, you've got to be in it every week, every round. It's such a tough one. I mean, I could make a case for like 4 or 5, maybe 6 riders here who could win the series. I mean, top 3, that's going to be a tough one as well. Who wants it? You know, I mean, obviously Scotty. I'm rooting for Scotty, Ben, and Biwicha. I think they're going to be up there and up near the top. Obviously Jan's quality rider. There's a lot of them. Haney had a great end to the season. If he carries that on this season, he could be up in the mix. I think he was pretty much in the top 3 early on in the season, but then he missed rounds and he dropped out of it.
And the same with Cam as well. He ended on a good run of form.
Cam's another one that everyone's been saying great things about. If only every round was at Birmingham, eh?
Oh, that's pretty good there. Had your thoughts? Of course, you're in this meeting. Going in as in the first heat, off the outside. So your thoughts on this SCS draw?
I'm looking forward to it. To be fair, I've never raced in the SCS before, so it's quite I'll probably say the strongest field I've seen for an SCS for the full series. I've got to say, most of these riders rode in GPs before, so it's gonna be tough. But obviously, Shad says with availability, we know a couple of riders miss rounds here and there, but I will be. Sundays is a pretty decent day for myself, so I normally do ride every round in these. So the first task is to qualify for next season and then go from there. I mean, I've just had a quick look at the heats. I think the tasty one for mine is either Heat 8, Biwicha, JC, and Cam. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now.
And Heat 20, it's like Team Panthers or former Team Panthers against me.
Scotty being King in Gatesy.
Has anyone got a list of the tracks Fecky's asking? I didn't write them down.
They are. I've got them. Did write them down. I'll type them in chat.
Well, Exberg's the first round. Ludwig Slush, yes, that's the German round. Then you got Big Gosh Grand Prix,
Norwich,
Chorzów,
Pirate
Speedway,
and Bahia Blanca.
Baja Blanca.
Yes, Baja Blanca.
Argentina round, yeah.
Wow.
And just to confirmation that the series refs do remain the same. So Tank is the referee for the BGP, and Ben Thompson will be the referee for the SCS meetings. So
I think Stephen Tank needs a lot of credit for pulling out of the qualifier to the referee as well.
Yeah. And we do give him credit.
Strange to see Tank not in either series, to be honest.
No. Maybe we can give him like a wild card or something. Oh no, we can't because he's refereeing in it the same night. give him a wild card spot in the SCS. Yeah. Scotty B saying there's no room for his heart. Oh, brilliant. So
he's been doing a lot of running. Is he training for a marathon or something? He might have lost his arse.
Oh, right. Oh, well, chaps, we've got one more thing to discuss, and that is the committee feedback. So with that, I'm going to bring in our producer, Mr. Tank. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, good. And we're going to also bring in, if we can, the SCS referee, Mr. Ben Thompson. Good evening, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Hear me now.
Real. So, chaps, I'm gonna let you two just discuss what's going on, because obviously with Tank being on the committee, and Ben Thompson being the referee, obviously this sort of links in with the referee side and the committee side. So, Tank, the floor is yours, my good sir.
Well, when it comes to the first bend rule, as it was obviously mentioned before the season started, we'd keep it on review to see how it went. Of all of the races that took place last season, apart from a couple at the end that I didn't record, we were around about the 38 to 40% of races, which it wasn't even half, and most of the reruns actually came at Rye House, which there's a surprise. It seemed didn't warrant to have the rerun, but there also seemed to be, when one was given, that there was still different of opinions as to what was a rerun or not. So whilst we've removed the first bend rule, and I know it's not popular with some and popular with others, I would say we've gone back to basics pre to when it was introduced, which I put my hand up. I was the one who obviously wanted the rerun and brought it in because I saw it being used on post SDS. And on that was the basis that we decided to go back to basics and remove the first bend rule and anything goes. I would also say it's kind of the same situation we got in a couple of seasons back when we had the fence exit rule, because I know Roscoe mentioned that as well. About it should come back. The problem with that was referees couldn't determine, and then there was an argument between the referees and the riders, and that made the referees not want to referee anymore because they couldn't determine what was a fence exit and a fence scrape. So that's why that was removed, and that gives information as to why that was removed. That's why we've gone with the first bend rule. Not to say we can't bring it back, but for this season we've removed it to see how it plays out, because we feel it's about time to go back to basics, because up until it was introduced from season 1 there was no first bend rule, and the hardcore ones will remember that one. So
I'm going to bring you in, Ben, if I can. Of course, you're the head ref, well, like you, and a ref as many as you can. Your thoughts on this, on the committee's decision with the all fullback rule?
Bit of a surprising one, but to be fair, personally, I'll probably volunteer to referee a lot more than already, just because, you know, sometimes you see certain meetings, certain teams, you know, certain riders, and you know everyone likes to have a say, but sometimes it goes a little bit too much and you try and ignore it. So I think now it probably removes that, and you don't have to worry about, you know, because if it's not clear and obvious and you do bring it back and you've got to make a decision, you know, after the race is finished, you know straight away either way there's going to be comments made. So I think really it makes it better for people to volunteer to referee. I think it'll improve, you know, potentially banter, things like that in the chat, that people don't get really annoyed. Yeah, they'll get annoyed that they've gone in the grass and it's not a rerun. But I think everybody will get used to it. I think with the tracks as well this year, I don't really think there's many with a tight first bend. From what I recall, maybe Powder Hall. But yeah, I don't think it's going to really do much but help, you know, like Tank said, I think it's going to help bring maybe the community a bit tighter, you know, and things like that, really.
Yeah, So obviously, saying that you're going to referee as many as you can, now, it's a great inclusion to the to the game and stuff. But your thoughts on the season ahead? Of course, you're very rapid with your refereeing when you ref. Your thoughts on the season ahead? What do you think's how it's gonna pan out for you guys in that meeting or in that tournament?
In the SCS, I think to myself, when Drax came and asked me, I said, that it was a no-brainer really to do the reffing, because how good it is this year, I'm going to need to watch everybody in every race. So one advantage of being a referee, and see little things appear as the racing goes on. So it was a no-brainer really for me. I mean, yeah, it does stop my practice because I have started doing Steph laps. That's one thing I have been doing for a couple of seasons now. And so, yeah, it does stop that in the SCS, but because I'm watching, then I don't really see much difference between the watching and the practicing. So a bit weird really, but yeah, I think I'm going to need it. And I think the first meeting, I think the one thing I didn't want to see was Gate 1. Because if I remember rightly, this track, I'm sure I rode it in the development league that Pompey ran. And I'm sure Gate 1 was an absolute graveyard. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, very close. I think, as you say, it's people that availability, and that's going to be what it's down to, because anyone in that lineup, can win a race, can win multiple races, and win rounds. I mean, as Shads always says about his riding, look, he won a round last year. That just proves, and he's now in the GP. So it's like, anyone can win a race on the night. So, and with that standard of riders, it's even closer. I think if you could compare it to having a GP1 and a GP2, but at the same level, it's like there's two semi-finals playing 7 rounds across the season, and then the grand final at the end. That's like sort of what you could look at really with the standard. So yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for myself, but racing's racing, and especially with no all fall back, people are going to start to play, play the game slightly different and use that to their advantage. So you've got to look out for that. So that's going to be a new challenge for riders. And you can maybe use that to your advantage by predicting it. But we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I'm sure all the SCS riders, and in fact all the riders in the league this year, are so thankful for your taking the time out for doing your refereeing as you do. Thanks for popping in, Ben. We appreciate it, mate, and good luck for season 20.
Yeah, that's great.
Ben does a lot of the graphics as well for the media team. Him and
Yes, he
Wolfie,
does.
so they do a great job doing that as well, both of them.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Ben.
All right, cheers, lads. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
All right.
Tank, we're gonna bring you back in, mate, because I understand you got some news about the nominated heats and your extra news as well. So the floor is yours, my good sir.
Yeah, there was questions regarding the nominated heats, and that how many there would be, and obviously we've gone back to the traditional 7 versus 7. So every rider gets 4 rides, but there's only 1 nominated heat. The opportunity to go back to that with enough was tempting, and that we felt that that's what the community would want. It was also to revert back to traditional, because we sort of got the times down for the 3 nominated heats being sorted out, was obviously got better. There was still some time between, and there was unrest about how long it would take to decide them. That was one aspect of it. But again, we run the 7 versus 7 and that with the one nominated heat, and it worked for 12 years prior to going to the 6 versus 6 format that we've had since then. So it just seemed like a good opportunity to bring it back, and we shall see how it goes. There was questions made about the lower end riders only getting free rides. We have taken that into account. What will happen is that then the lowest average rider will have to ride at number 7, and they will have to they can't be replaced in heat 8, and that as a protected race, and this should hopefully enable the lower riders to get their 4 rides and that. So and the only other thing is that the number ones, the highest average rider in the team will obviously be at number 1. The lowest average will be at number 7, and anyone else can be put anywhere they like. So I know that was one thing that was brought up a few times last season about going to a 7 versus 7, whether that would be the case. It was, but it's also to try and help out the lower end riders not be put out. Number 8 can obviously be put in a lineup when that a rider replacement being used, but it's subject to obviously the number 7 protected race and not being replaced. You know, the minimum 3 rides and that. So, and I think that is everything on the basis of that.
Oh wow! So a lot of details going in there as well. I guess was that your extra news as well? Was it?
It was, yeah. There's I might be missing one thing off, but that is pretty much it. But yeah, we did listen to the concerns about the lower end, obviously having free rides, but it worked before many years ago, and that when we had the 7 versus 7 format. So we shall see. But obviously all the
And
updates.
did you say that in the number 6 rider in the team can? You said that the number 7, the lowest average has to ride at number 7,
Yeah.
and the highest has to ride number 1.
Yeah.
What happens to the number 6 rider, who's the second lowest
This
average?
well, the second lowest has to be at number 6.
Oh right, so
Yeah.
there's not a free right.
No,
Okay,
no,
so it's
no.
so it'd be like
Yeah.
like real speedway.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to clear that up. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, and that I should have said that before, but yeah, no, it's and that obviously the lowest average ride has to be at number 7, because that way the number 7 rides and that will ride against their equivalents. So if you look at, say, Ivy against Leroy or Danny B against Baz, you know, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but you race your equivalent in your races, in at least 3 of your races, and it should they won't be outpaced. They'll have a chance. It will bring it, you know, a bit tighter, and they'll have something to play for in the meeting themselves.
So all has been signed, sealed, delivered, and well, I guess the only thing is now, chaps, is to let the games begin. We've been going for just over an hour and 15 now, so I think if all else is good, we can now wrap up proceedings. But looking ahead to next week's show, we'll look back at the first round of the BGP. I'm sure we will.
I can actually say what's the fixtures for the first week. Obviously, on the Sunday will be the BGP and the SCS. I can also reveal that the first week in the season will be Knockout Cup action. and the teams, obviously based on the track picks. Don't do it now. And the fixture list will be going up after the podcast as well. Will be week 1 will be the first leg of the quarterfinals, and it will be between the Oxford Dragons versus the Shawfield Panthers, and the Somerset Spartans against the Powderhall Scorchers, which means that in the semi-final 2 teams get a bye to the semi-final, and in the semi-final, and that will enter the Poole Cowboys at home versus the Newcastle Wolves. So yeah, that's how week 1 shapes up, and then week 2, the following week, is a league week, and that will see the Cowboys at home to Spartans, the Scorchers at home to Dragons, Panthers at home to Wolves, and then the third week, to give the first 3 weeks, will be Spartans at home against Panthers, Wolves at home to Scorchers, and Dragons at home to Cowboys. So it would be Knockout Cup followed by 2 league weeks.
Wow. So there we have it, folks. Season 20 is almost upon us. And you've heard it here first. You've seen the track selections. You've seen the BGP SCS rounds. You've had the draws. And of course, we've got to have the fixture will be posted after tonight's podcast. So,
and one other thing while I remember.
Yep.
We have reintroduced the reserve pairs, so the bottom end will have a meeting like the top end do. We have also, whilst the BLRC is taking place on the same night, we will be putting a reserve riders championship, so the bottom 12 riders from each team plus 4 full riders will do the equivalent of what the BLRC will. So it helps give the lower end something to look forward to and get engrossed in. And obviously they will be on the same track, so they won't have to obviously, train a different track. And obviously the tracks for them, all being well, will be revealed next Friday.
So there we go.
That is everything.
That is everything. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for that, Tank. Really appreciate that. So if anyone else has got anything they want to say about, we can wrap up proceedings for tonight. Hads, any last minute thoughts?
Looking forward to reserve pairs, I must admit.
Yeah. Nice to see that come back.
Yeah, it's nice to see it come back. I mean, the Hads did an unofficial one last season, which was great fun. I think everyone really enjoyed that, and it's great to see it come back officially. I think it worked really well.
Hads, your thoughts, mate?
I was just going to ask about the Knockout Cup. Did you say Cows v Wolves was the semi-final?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
Cows vs Wolves in the semi-final, which will be the 10th of March. That's semi-final 1 for the semi-final. And then it will
effectively, Cows and Wolves got a first round bye, so to speak.
Yeah. So one of them will end up in the final.
I think we should know the marriage was a great.
So there we go. Well, gents, I think we can end proceedings. It's been a great show. Of course, same again next week. So don't forget, guys, the podcast will be recorded and posted onto the Sliders YouTube page tomorrow at 8 p.m. So still to hear back from what you're doing. So with that being said, I'm going to say good night to Shads.
The ultimate Doctor Who monster
Night, Hads. Good night, everyone.
A good night to Hads.
Good night, everyone.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. We will see you all back here next week for episode 53 of All Four Back. We get even closer to season 20 kicking off. So until then, guys, stay safe, enjoy your racing, and we'll see you next week. Ta-da!